Do you see the countdown on your side?
Oh my God, that was so cool.
Wasn't that
3,
cool?
2, 1, blast off, baby.
Yeah,
We need an intro. We need a, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome.
Here you go. Here you go. Hold on. Here we go. That little music.
I love it.
Nothing but the best here. You know, I don't know how to use anything, but nothing but they updated it.
I hope we didn't just lull people to sleep with that intro.
Yeah, no, I think we're good. So yeah, we got about 10 minutes, Dr. Norm. I appreciate you giving us some time.
Of course.
We got a big event coming up, as you know, Chiropassion Consulting Bootcamp in Fort Lauderdale. We want to obviously expose what we do and share with the chiropractic community what we do. We want to elevate retention. We want to grow the volume. We want to grow freedom, wealth. We want to make things simple and easy and reproducible and repeatable. And I think a lot of that shared in boot camp. But why don't you start with, I know you've been to a few boot camps and you've been in the membership and with Chiropassion for a while. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the value you've got, some changes you got, and why you think boot camp's great for somebody who's already in the program, or certainly somebody who's never met Joe Borio or been part of Chiropassion before.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you. It's always a pleasure, and I love giving back to the profession. I know you do as well. So the thing is, for me with this boot camp, and I wrote myself some notes because when we talked a little bit, we hinted that we were going to maybe do this. And I wanted this to be impactful for people. And I wanted to express what I felt. A lot of times I get too wordy, so I wrote it down. I put down transformation, not just information, right? So I think one would argue, like I always argue both sides, right? And if I was going to say a reason why I didn't want to go, like what would my excuse be? Say you've been a member of Chiropassion for many years, like I have. I've seen the information. I've read the literature. Could you imagine a football team saying, we went to the championship and I don't have to practice anymore? It would never happen. And for me, honestly, I'm going for the transformation. I can get the information. First of all, I think it's important to go get the information because every time I go, I reconnect and I remember what I've forgotten. I'm like, oh my God, I knew that 6 months ago and I stopped using it. Yes. And I was in a situation with a practice member where they mentioned something, doc, it hurts me right here. And rather than having a proper answer for them, you lose bits, slipping and checking we talk about. So I want to be the best that I could be in the short amount of time that I have left to do this. Like I tell my practice members, I've only got 30 more years to do this. So, I'm 30 in, I got 30 to go. So I want to be the best. Don't you want to be the best that you could be? And, but then the other thing is I put hands-on real world training. Imagine if I wanted to be, I could probably do it with this physique, but if I wanted to be like a Mr. Olympia, right? Could you imagine if Arnold Schwarzenegger, like if I went to, he used to do the chiropractic seminars with us and stuff. Imagine if Arnold Schwarzenegger could say, hey, what would you think of me and you one-on-one going to the gym? And I will show you how I do my sets. I will show you how to get the max leverage and angles and the hand, rather than just say, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to do pushing exercises and Saturdays and Sundays we'll do pulling exercises. Imagine if Arnold would sit in the gym. That's what this is. And I don't understand why you even have to advertise. People are silly. Hands-on, real world with Joe Borio. Like if you want to be the most successful chiropractor you can be, you're the last one alive that I can think of. There's been greats, right? But God's taken them, right? So you get to be hands-on. And by the way, you don't just come in for a cameo. You don't just come in at the end and, it's Joe Borio and his team, the literal people that have done it the best, arguably on the planet ever, sitting with you in a room. And it's not a room of 7,000, it's maybe a room of 100. and you get real world, hands-on, it's a perfect environment for connection in Fort Lauderdale. You know what I mean? You got the Fort Lauderdale vibes, which I love that stuff. I go, I ground, I put my feet in the sand. But what a better place to I'm hungry to grow. And I think Fort Lauderdale is just a great place to experience, because I don't always work when I'm in Florida with you. Sometimes I have a nice lunch, or even in the afternoons,
drink. I get it, man.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I love to connect with passionate chiropractors who love what I love. Let's face it, from being in practice, the civilians, I love them all, but they'll wear you down, right? Facebook will wear you down, or people coming in telling you about their conditions will wear you down. Imagine going in a room full of people, or we have a nice social events that we do, and we can connect, and we could, a lot of times I like to impart wisdom, certainly, but I get from other people, like, they're suffering too in certain ways. Their challenges are, oh my gosh, you're experiencing that too. I thought I was alone on an island.
Yes.
And it's not just me. I know when we connected in Italy, that was the case, and the Bahamas, and all these fantastic trips. It's not just about the trips; it's about the connection, right? So, and where you do it, I think is important, right? For your mindset. Not only your skill set, but your mindset. For me, this is the thing that's holding me back. It's keeping me back from being what I want to be in life is here. So how do you fix this? Right? I don't think you can do it at home, Joe. I think that you've got to go to these events, right? And get out of, I say comfort zone, but I don't know. Fort Lauderdale is pretty comfortable.
Familiar space. I think you get stuck. That's why it's so great. When we went to the Bahamas, we went to Italy. I think getting out of an environment where you're anchored, getting out of an environment where you feel comfortable or secure, or that allows you to be habitual, allows you to be repetitive, getting out and disrupting that pattern and doing something, if you will, new or different in a different surrounding allows you to learn it better. It anchors it in better. You become a master at it when you come back.
And I think that we get complacent and we fall into lulls. I see it happening in practices. I see it happen in relationships,
Yes.
And I think that you have to imagine if you could, with your spouse or wife or whatever the case may be, imagine if you could reconnect with people that are ultra successful like you meet with people that are ultra successful in relationships, been married for many years. How do you do it? Like, really, how do you keep the spark? How do you keep the conversation? How do you, imagine getting in a room full of people that everyone is in great, healthy, long relationships. Wouldn't you want to be in that room?
Yes.
Many of the people in chiropassion have been there for a long time. Of course, there are new ones, and I know they're hungry to learn. But why do I want to hang out with people that have been doing this for so long, right? I want to be a part of that collective energy, and I want to be thinking like them. I want to be acting like them. I want to be happy like them. I want to be fulfilled like them. I want to be serving my community like them. I want to be impactful. I've got something that really changed me when we had one of our seminars in Florida, and a casket rolls in, and you pop out the top of the casket, and it was super. There wasn't a lot of words. It was just like, I think you even spoke from the casket. How long do you have? How much longer do you think you have on? And it shocks the shit out of me. Like, there are things that in these programs that really change. We talked about finances. What's your relationship with money? I don't know what I'm going to miss at an event. So I make sure I never miss an event. And I tell you, every time I go to these events, I talk about $1 million ideas. Like, when I hear something, I'm like, that's going to make me $1 million. That's going to make me 300,000. That conversation is going to make me 100,000. Why? Because I'm not going to lose that patient, right? I'm going to be inspired to do more, to attract more people into the office. I'm going to say things that are going to allow my patients to have a higher PVA, to stay in my practice longer. When I come to re-signs at the end of their 1 year, because we do care plans 1 year at a time, when I do the end of a care plan, I don't have to say, oh Lord, what am I going to say to this person to have them? They tell me they want to re-sign for a year,
Right,
you know?
right.
In the beginning, I tell patients, I tell you what you need in the beginning, but after that, I want you to tell me in some fashion, I want you to tell me what you want. What do you choose? What, you know, and if I didn't have the vocabulary and the training to do all that, my life, I wouldn't be as happy as I am. Literally, I wouldn't be as happy. And I've practiced for a long time, and I've used different versions of myself. And I am, you know, I'm still developing. But now what I've learned to do is inject less of what I am or what I feel I need to be, and more of what the patient needs me to be. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and I learn these mindsets and these skill sets and these strategies for patient retention, for marketing, for leadership, staff motivation. I
Teamwork.
think we slip on these things, and we need to reconnect. And by the way, as little sidebars, when we're working at these little breakout sessions, which we do frequently, I may have something just pop into my mind, like, oh, I wonder how this happened, and I can ask somebody next to me, and I can get 4 different answers, 4 different flavors of something, and then what I love about this program, you can make it your own. It's not just the Joe Borio show. I love the way you do it. And no one says you have to do it this specific way. Right. Certainly, we're guided in the right direction, but it's a program that you can make your own, and I think that has tremendous value. And I've seen my life change. I have been growing and growing and growing. Why am I on this call with you? I want to see everyone as happy as me. I wasn't always happy, and I've been through my bumps and bruises that you know about.
Yes.
But I wish for everyone, as you do. I know you could sail off into the sunset easier than any of us, and I see that you're more committed now than ever. And I've known you for many years, and it makes me proud to be on the call with you. But I think it's a charge that we both have to share this mission and this message. Yes. in order to save, our communities. Some would say save the world, and I think that we can, but we got to do it one chiropractor at a time. Yes. And the way, Chiropassion Consulting has a very purpose-driven mission, and you're always talking about reconnecting with your why, serving bigger than yourself. And but when you get around like-minded people, they say you're a product of your environment, and you are what you live. And when you live around successful people and see people achieving success in all ways, right? Not just, physically, mentally, spiritually, practice-wise, relationship-wise. Recently, we were just blessed to be down in Florida, and you took us for a nice boat ride and everything. Sometimes I forget what my capacity is, unless when I'm on that boat, I say, this boat could be my boat. These homes could be my home. They could be my investment properties, right? And then it elevates what I want to be. I get a bigger vision of myself than what I had for myself. Each time I connect with people, I see more of what the potential is, more of what my capacity is. I believe in myself more. And when I'm journaling, when I'm doing my rituals in the morning, I've watched my journaling over the years of, in the beginning, it was more humble. And now it's, multiple investments, multiple different things that I aspire, not that they're all the most important things to me, but bigger dreams, bigger visions, bigger purpose. Yeah. I know I've talked to some people recently, and they say, well, I'm comfortable seeing X amount of patients a day. Okay, so what happens to the rest of them that you're not seeing? Right. I can't get comfortable with that. I need to, I think at the end of the game, you get to meet God, and God's going to say, he'll have a Rolodex and he'll say, Colby, okay, Colby, yeah. Ooh, look what I blessed you with. Look at the life. Look at the health. Look at the family. Look at what did you do to deserve it? I want to say I broke my ass serving chiropractic and its principles and my community to the, you know what I mean? And I'm worn out. I don't want my arms to move anymore, my legs. I want to, you know what I mean? I want my body to be wrecked because I served at such a high level.
Yeah.
Now,
I think the biggest challenge, we only got a couple minutes, Norm, but
yes.
I think one of the challenges I see, and again, I say it out of love and respect to those in the profession, is, you know, even if you take a day one, or you take, whether you're doing a 2-day or 3-day process, or you're at the table, like how you handle things, most people handle them. I learned it from a buddy of mine. I went to an event and I had a conversation with somebody, you know. I went to an event and I really liked this one guy and he said, do this. And I listened to another lady and she said, do that. And I listened to somebody else. And we kind of create this hodgepodge. You know, we don't really have proven reproducible systems that you can train on and rely on to be consistently successful. And you know, what we bring to you, obviously, and you've experienced it, you know, we're going to bring you every aspect that you need to take from that Friday and go right back into Monday. And you could plug in. I mean, you show up with your staff, you know, granted, you can't put in 30 things on Monday, and nor would I recommend that, but you could take 1 or 2 of the 30 things and immediately plug them in, implement them in, and immediately get the benefits from them without, you know, you're not rearranging the office, you're not knocking walls down on Monday, but you're going to be able to take a couple of simple procedures and protocols, mindset, right? Change yourself and everything changes. Like you use the word transform, and man, it's going to have an immediate impact on the people you serve, on your practice, on your growth, your retention, your freedom. Obviously, you're experiencing that yourself. So,
yeah, I think it's important to remember, though. So, no, you don't have to implement it all at one time. But the program is so good, Joe. Like, so if you could magically, mystically take that program and bring it home and do this, you're talking about million, maybe multi-million cash if you practice. Like, you know what I mean? So it's, and the other thing is that what doesn't change, like you've been coaching for a long time, the way that you practice, you know, the right way is the right way, is, you know, and you haven't changed, you haven't deviated, you haven't gone with, you know, this care plan or, you know, 3 months care plan, 6 months, you know, you've practiced, if I can say, principled, subluxation focused, centered chiropractic care. Not that you know, there's no love lost. Some people like to do what they do, but your method has been tried and true since the beginning. It doesn't change. It's not, you know, what's the flavor of the day or what can I do to attract people. It's 100% nuts and bolts, unadulterated, unchanged. And by the way, your coaching comes from, I think it's a diamond that's, you know, that you took sand in the shell or whatever, however a diamond is made, right? Yes. And you've taken a lifetime of the greats, the greatest ever, and brought it down and made it into one program. And I think it's, I've been around a while. I see there's more stuff on Facebook now. It makes you sick, but your program is the program. And you're the most successful person probably to walk the planet ever as a chiropractor, with not just, you know, 1 day, 2 days, but every day with the highest PVA, highest retention. And I'm not just saying it to impress you. I want to impress upon people the most serious program that there is in chiropractic, for chiropractors that want to achieve greatness. And I know that you say people go do it, go to the seminar, write all the notes down, get the book, go home and practice it and transform your life. Don't be afraid to, you know, I know some people like to go at their own pace, but I like to go at an uncomfortable pace. I want to implement, because look, if I do 50% of what you do, imagine a transfer. Imagine what this profession would look like if half the chiropractors out there did half of what you did. Right, the world would not be sick, suffering, broken, alone in nursing homes. Right.
Yeah. Well, and you don't have to try it. You're not reinventing the wheel. You're not like, let me try this or let me try that. And the beauty I think you walk away with as well is, and this is true with all of us, you're going to do something. Nothing's 100%. So you're going to do something, a missed adjustment, a table talk, how to handle somebody who says, hey, I'm feeling better. I'm not feeling better. Like, I get it. That stuff's going to happen. And when it happens, what do you say? So what's beautiful with our program is we teach you those step over issues. We teach you how to handle those objections. Hey, this is how it's going to go 70% of the time. But in 30% of the cases, when they say this and when they say that or this happens, we know exactly what to do. We've got it on flashcards. We've got it on handouts. We've got it on video training. However you work best, we're going to give you a handout. We're going to give you booklets. We're going to give you all kinds of stuff. So when you leave there, you're going to have an enormous amount of information that you can implement immediately to grow your office and to grow your success and your wealth and freedom. So, Norm, I want to thank you for, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just wanted to say this is not one of those things where you sign up and you're going to miss out, or I wish it would have been more. This is start to finish, because I've been to them, start to finish. It is 100% of everything you've done that has led you to the ultimate practice success. Yeah. So, this Borio Bootcamp it is a wake up call to your potential. And I look forward to seeing everyone there. I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to be in God's country down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, to train with the best who literally have ever done it. But I'm honored to be on the call with you.
Right back at you. Thank you. Yeah, May 2nd, Fort Lauderdale, Friday. We start at 8:30. We go right till 6 o'clock at night. And Norm said it. No one has ever left an event with me and said, man, you know what? He came up short. He didn't deliver. I wish he gave me more information. But it's usually the opposite. Yeah. By 4 o'clock, everyone's like, okay, enough. I'm like, dude, I'm just warming up. Let's go. So thanks for your time.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron. Be there.
Yes, be there. Thanks. Have a great one, Norm. Go back.
You too. God bless.
Yep. God bless. Bye.